Welcome back, baseball fans, to the Winter Baseball Classic. We have got the Winter Baseball Championship. Let's look at the bracket and see how we get to this point. So it was Savannah. We can erase these. That's from last year. Savannah, right in this series, was down 3-1 to Rhode Island. They won the final 3 games and take the series 4-3. Missoula, even worse situation, was down 0-3 to Athens, and yeah, they win 4 straight. So you ended up with Savannah and Missoula, teams winning 7 in a row combined to conclude those series after being down 1-6. So that both teams are proving their mettle. But the story for the finals is that this team, Missoula, has won games 1, 2, and 3. And we see a similar predicament for a team. Missoula, as a team now, they were down 0-3 to Athens, and they've ripped off 7 straight wins. But they're in a very odd predicament here, in that they are now up 3-0. So as much as it was cool in the previous series to come back 0-3 and beat down a team, now they face a slim possibility of it happening to them, blowing a 3-0 series lead. This is Game 4 of the WBC Championship, and Missoula will send Jerry Johnson to the mound. And for Savannah, we have the Moose, the Bob Moose. Bob Moose on the loose. We expect him to be drafted into the Summer League. Let's get started right here. Game 4. Retman leads it off. 1-5, grounds a third. Fiore, single 1 of 16 is a base hit. Buddy Bradford, 58's a K, and with 2 outs, Alex Johnson lines out. All right, Don Buford. The Savannah team has changed their lineup since they went down 0-3. That was the recipe for Missoula. They changed their lineup and then went on a 7-game winning streak. Savannah's hoping changing their lineup and getting a 4-game winning streak to win the championship is what's going to happen here. So Buford leads off, and he walks. Joe Foy, 48, it's a K. Steve Hovley, formerly the leadoff man, single 1-8, it's a single. And Heisel, who was batting 6, is now the cleanup hitter as he leads the club in home runs in the tournament. 310 is a K. And with 2 outs, Fuentes bounces to second. John Briggs, 33, center, he was leading off. Jim LaFay, 68, is a walk. Tony Taylor, 512, is a walk. Elrod Hendricks, D6, short X, but Oilers a 2E27, and that's a double play. Oilers had only 1 miscue in the entire series, in the entire season, or this Winter Baseball Classic, you could say. Only 1 error. It's a 2E27. He's trying to advertise himself as a platoon defensive shortstop against lefties with a, what did Oiler hit even? 165, so we'll see how that plays out. John Kennedy, 5'10", center X. This is Buddy Bradford's 2E14 in center field. Jim Spencer, 1'6", 1 of 15 is a base hit. Mike Ryan, 1'9", short A. We go to third. Don Mason, 57 Ks. Merv Retman, 68 is a walk. Fiore, 47 is a K. And with 2 outs and a man on, we have seen teams try more stolen bases as you get closer to the end of the tournament, figuring that there's not much to lose at this point. But Ryan's got a -1 arm. I'm going to let Bradford bat. Buddy Bradford, 57, is a K. Euler, 2-8 is a walk. No, I'm sorry, against a righty. Yeah, 2-8's a walk. Buford, 210, first B. Foy, 1-6 is a walk. 2 speedy guys on with 1 out for Hovley. 1-7, third B plus. Runners are on the corners with 2 outs for Heisel. 4-11, pitcher XE10, Jerry Johnson, a 2E10, makes the play. Scoreless after 3. Alex Johnson, 59, Ks. John Briggs, first. LaFay, 63, second X. This is full. He's not a good second baseman at all. He's a jack of all trades. It's a base hit, but none of them particularly well. Tony Taylor, 2-9. Let's take a look at Tony Taylor's card. This is a decent card, but he's got a better card in the Summer League. 2-9, triple 1 and 9 is a double. And Jim LaFay, 12, 13, 14. He's held up at third base because Heisel has a -1 arm. So second and third with 2 outs for Elrod. And he pops the first. Excuse me. Tito Fuentes, 49, 1-6 is a base hit. John Kennedy, 39 is a single to right field. 2 on for Spencer. 64 pops the second. Mike Ryan, 59, right. Ray Euler, 49, single to left. Fuentes, 12, 13, 14 against the Briggs arm. He scores, and Savannah has a lead. Kennedy holds. Buford, 4-11. First X. This is Fiore's a 3E20 at first, a 3E20. And the inning's over, but they get a run. Don Mason, 55, second. Merv Retman, 56, is a K. Fiore, 39 is a walk. Buddy Bradford, 110, base hit in the center field. 2 on, 2 outs. Fiore will not try and go to third. For Alex Johnson, 6-10, second X. This is Foy, he's a 4E41, and he just can't get out of his own way and kicks that ball, but it loads the bases for John Briggs. Let's take a look at John Briggs. This guy is trying to get into the Summer League. He was leading off and he slumped. They put him down into the 5-hole because of his power. Homers and on base, not much defense, B-stealer. Slim chance. Thought a lot of competition at corner outfield spot, but he could make it into the league. A big hit here would certainly help his chances. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 5th inning. Johnny Briggs, 39, rolls a short. Second. All right, Joe Foy, 2-9, third. Hubley, 1-7, third. Heisel, 2-11, right. We go to the 6th inning. The Moose, the Bob Moose, Jim LaFay, 2-9, walks. Tony Taylor, 2-3, right. Elrod Hendricks. Take a look at Elrod Hendricks' card. 3-4, homer 1 to 19. It's gone. That's a lot of home runs. And suddenly, Missoula has a lead, and they are 12 outs away from a championship. A 2-run homer for Elrod Hendricks. Now, this is, of course, Elrod's 4th year trying to get into this league. If you take a closer peek to the numbers, it's 12 home runs to 300 at-bats. So as a left-handed hitting catcher, his arm isn't particularly good. It's a 0 arm. He'll probably make it somewhere into the league, because that's a lot of power. And he does hit .244, which isn't too horrible. I think Elrod makes it. Maybe not for the Orioles necessarily. Well, he could be. The Orioles could eventually take him. They've ignored him 3 times, but he's still one of these Elrod cards is in the Oriole deck, and then there's other Elrod Hendricks cards that are unclaimed, which means it's first come first serve. They'll have to come down to, are there better players that the Orioles pick ahead of him when the draft comes. Don Mason, 35, grounds to third, and with 2 outs it's Retman, another Oriole, 47 Ks. 2-1 game. Jerry Johnson. Missoula has Bob Locker as the closer, who has been virtually untouchable and could very well be the MVP of the tournament. So if it comes down to a 1, 2, 3-run lead in the last couple frames, Locker's coming in to win the game and the MVP award. So Fuentes, 2-8 is a single. This is Jerry Johnson's starter 6. We have to watch him too. John Kennedy, 66 is a K. Jim Spencer, 1-4, is a pitcher A. And wow, Jerry Johnson has got his team through 6 with a lead. Moose in the 7th. He is the starter 7, but he's probably the best starting pitcher on either team. Fiore, 55, second C. Buddy Bradford, Ks. Alex Johnson, 57 Ks. They are not going to bring their defensive dudes in. Missoula's had enough games where they bring their defensive guys in and then they blow the lead anyway, and then they can't come back because their lineup is terrible. So they're going to try and piece together one more inning of bad defense at second base and left field. And here we go, bottom of 7, Mike Ryan, 58, flies a center. Ray Euler, 211, Ray Euler, this is huge. Homer, 1-10, fly ball, and it's gone. Look at the Ray Euler card. Yeah, oh man, dreadful card. Big hit here. Ties the game in the bottom of the 7th. But what we like about the guy is that he is a 2 at shortstop and he flaunts power both ways. Not a lot of it, but I mean, 7 home runs and 255 at bats. So he was swinging for the fences and trying to get into this summer league, and he is 2 for 2 plus a walk in this game. 2-2, Jerry Johnson, not quite broken. Buford, 610, Buford off the Jerry Johnson card. That's a solo homer, and they take a 3-2 lead. Joe Foy, 45, short X. This is Mason, is a 3, 48 at short. He kicks the ball. Hovley, 47 is a walk. That'll do it. It just fell apart for Jerry Johnson here in the 7th. Got the leadoff guy, and then nothing after that. So it's 3-2, 2 men on base with 1 out. I think we're going to see Ron Willis in the 7th to face Heisel, Fuentes, and Kennedy. There's Ron Willis. And here's Ron, why don't you talk about Willis against Heisel? 2-2, second A, and that ends the inning. All right, Moose on the loose. They're not going to trust. He's not going to trust the bullpen. He's going to go for that CG if he can get it. You got to break him to get him out of there. Johnny Briggs, 2-4, third. LaFay, 1-5, first. Tony Taylor, 3-10, third. Bottom of the 8th. Fuentes, 48, right. Kennedy, 57 Ks. Spencer, 211, lines the third. Nice relief pitching for Willis. And the only defense to bring in would be Gary Sutherland. Will come into play second base. We'll take Fuentes' spot in the lineup. Foy goes DH. All the other defense is already in the game. And Moose is going to go come into the 9th inning. It'll be Elrod Hendricks, Don Mason, and Merv Retman trying to protect a 3-2 lead and get a complete game and get a win in the series. Missoula wants to come back in the 9th and win a championship. So let's see what happens. Elrod Hendricks, 67, single 1-16, and that's a base hit for Elrod. Are the wheels spinning here? Any base? No. I don't think they're going to do anything tricky here. Don Mason. 311 Don Mason lines the first. Merv Retman. 1-6 Merv Retman hits into a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. And that's your ball game, folks. The Savannah Spanish Moss has won Game 4 and has gotten a win in the finals by a score of 3-2. So it's 3-1 now. Missoula's not quite sweating yet, but 6 hits, 2 runs for Moose in the win. It was just that home run by Elrod Hendricks. A lot of walks though, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts. Ron Willis, he was good in the relief, got a strikeout. Jerry Johnson ran out of gas in the 7th inning. And a crazy Ray Euler homer on his own card. And then Buford hits a homer off Jerry Johnson's card. All 3 runs were earned, 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. 1009, 0108, 3826, 5944. So, looks like, folks, you're just going to have to wait till the end of this video to find out who wins the WBC Championship. So, as we plug in the stats thus far, you see these two teams are pretty evenly statistically. Neither is a overwhelming team, but they are steady, I guess you would say. So Savannah, down 1-3 in the series, is 16-10 for the tournament, hitting .275 with a .289 team ERA, led by Jim Merritt's 5-0. Moose is only 3-2, and offensively, their leading hitter Buford is 35 hits and 103 at-bats. And Heisel is hitting .320 with 7 homers and 22 RBI. So I would say Heisel is probably the MVP for Savannah thus far. 16-10, and Missoula, up 3-1 in the series, needing just one more win, is 16-7, hitting .263 with a .347 ERA. Their star is this guy, Bob Locker, 9 saves. He's pitched 16 in the 3rd innings, given up 2 runs, no walks, 12 strikeouts for Bob Locker. That sounds like MVP material. The starting pitching is okay. Phoebus is 4-0, everybody else is 3-2. And offensively, there's nothing particularly. Jim LaFay has 10 doubles, for what that's worth. Alex Johnson has 6 homers and 23 RBIs. He's only hitting around .250. Nobody has a big batting average. So, well, that's it for now. And when I fade in the final video, you'll find out who wins the WBC Championship. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back, baseball fans. We had Savannah against Missoula in the finals. Missoula wins the first 3. Savannah won in Game 4. Missoula's up 3-1. How did the series finish? We'll scroll up and find out. And there you go. Missoula won 4-2. They lost that Game 5 in Savannah. They went back to Missoula and won the series. Congratulations, Missoula, finishing the tournament 17-8 and winning the tournament. Savannah finishes 17-11, the runner-up. Also, as far as some lifetime statistics I've been doing for the tournament, since you'll find this quite amusing. I started this tournament back in 2006, and when you look at the numbers from 2006, let's focus on this screen for a second, you'll find that the lifetime New Orleans is the overall best winning percentage in these things, winning 2 titles. But Missoula was second best overall, and they just won their first title with a .544 winning percentage. Savannah is actually right at 500, though they won it 3 times. We're going for their 4th. So that's how the tournament ended. And now we can take a look at the final standings while I have this up here like this. Let's see here. The final batting, in a small sample size, Sanguine and Snyder hit over 400. But you really have to look for the guys who had over 100 at-bats. Buford was in the finals, finished hitting .333. You had Larry Heisel hit .318, 7, and 23. But I'm going to give the MVP of the tournament. I'm going to go right down to the pitching. Because in a tournament like this, you're going to get some good starting pitching here. Looking at the high innings, Milt Pappas 43 innings, the 126 ERA, but then Merritt in 50 innings. But this yellow line here, Bob Locker's your tournament MVP. 17 1/3 innings, 9 saves, and a .56 ERA. And 9 saves, if you look at the save number, it isn't even close. He had 9, and the next closest guy was Fred Gladding, who was in the finals, at 4. Jim Bulchin at 5 for a good Rhode Island team. That's the end of that. So now we can focus on the rest of the cards. I'll put the phone here for a moment. Excuse me. We'll focus on the rest of the cards that are in consideration for the Summer League as we begin. That's the next thing we do is the Summer League draft, and the league will start. We get things all wrapped up with the Winter Baseball Classic done. So we'll start with Fred Gladding. He will get into the league. He's got a better card coming up, I believe, in 71. Lee Stang did not pitch very well in the tournament. I don't think it's going to work for him. Now, Jim Merritt pitched really well in the tournament, but I have to recall that none of these 5, 8, 9, and 10 really hurt him at all in the short-run tournament. My prediction is some team will take him and ignore the 4.37 ERA on the front side of the card and then be very disappointed with what they get. Joe Horland was a guy who got a lot of work, a starter 7. It looks like his spot is safe. He'll get in the league, pitching on the rotation with a 3.78 ERA for a bad White Sox team. He might do better someplace else. We saw Moose throw a shutout or a complete game, and this is a great card. He's got a couple great cards coming up. He will be in the league. Bill Butler, Kansas City actually has a lot of depth in pitching. So he's left-handed, so you think he'll get into the league either for Kansas City or somebody else. Del Canton was okay as well. I'm not sure if he's got a better card than this coming up soon or not. But this one's got a 3.35 ERA. Now, John Hiller, on the other hand, his card is already in the league for the Tigers. John Kennedy's card's already in the league. John Ellis, the Johns suddenly just appeared here. He's got a couple of nice cards, nice hitting for a catcher, not much defense. He'll get in the league with one of them. Not sure if it's this one or either a 70 or 71 card. Mike Ryan, a defensive-minded catcher. If you're going to be a defensive-minded catcher, get a -2 arm, not a -1 arm, or a -3 arm to make it really worth the bang for your buck, because you're never going to get any offense out of this guy. This guy, Ray Euler, was talked about quite a lot in this series because he had some big hits. He's a 2.27 at short. He would pass as a platoon. Your worst infielder. He doesn't have positional versatility, however, which is disappointing. But he's a 2 at short with power and on base against at least lefties, so that makes him somewhat valuable. And when you consider, dude hit 165, it's kind of remarkable that I'm even considering him. But it's those home runs that do it. Gary Sutherland, A bunter, B hit and runner. You know, infield and outfield. Maybe. It's a 256 hitter or something like that. No, 239. Yeah, he might have a better card, so I don't know about that. Tommy Reynolds, I don't think so. Decent enough defense and ability to kind of hit lefties, but not much. That's not good enough. That's not going to make it. Sorry, Tommy. Buford's already in the league with the Orioles. Joe Foy is already in the league. Steve Hovley should be in the league, but he isn't. And we're thinking this is about time to get this card in, because the right side of this platoon is good. If he's stuck in there against lefties, it's not that bad a situation, so you can live with it. But yeah, he can hit righties pretty good. He's a 3-24 B stealer. I wish he had power, though. That's the thing, the one part of the card that doesn't, you know, you'd rather find a guy like this with more power, such as this guy. Heisel, now he's ready to get into the league. He had been blocked the last 3 times. A center fielder with kind of meh defense, and, you know, looking at the batting average, he's probably under 260 here. He's 266, barely over that. A lot of home runs, a lot of strikeouts, but that's okay. Better than double plays, I suppose. So Heisel will get into the league finally. Fuentes will get into the league as well. It's amazing that he was still not drafted by the Giants. But you got to remember the Giants had McCovey and Mays and Marichal and Gaylord Perry and Ron Hunt, all these other guys they had already picked. So Fuentes has to wait his turn. I think his turn is time to come because he's a 295 hitter. And you could put him at third, which he's not really good at third or short, or you can wait till he moves to second base. Spencer's card is already in the league with the Angels. And we can get to Fred Gladding. All right, now we'll do this all at once. We'll take one final look at your world champs of the Winter Baseball Classic, the Missoula Mountaineers. Break up Missoula. And this guy right here is, believe it or not, your MVP. It's Bob Locker. And funny part about it is his 71 card is already in the league, so we don't even need this one. Jim Hannon, starter 5, more of a reliever. He could make it as a relief starter, like the 5th starter on a team, or the first guy, long guy out of the bullpen, maybe. Nameless cards we don't use, so we'll skip Bob Meyer. I'm going to turn some of these cards around now. Jerry Johnson, I think he pitched in one of the games. He looks like Jim Hannon, except he's a starter 6. So now you can put him at number 4 starter if Hannon's a 5 starter. He's all right. Kind of a lot of home runs, though. Not crazy about that, but he's okay for like an expansion team, maybe. As a lefty, Barry Moore is halfway decent. Starter 6 lefty. Doesn't really kill you. Doesn't really help you a whole lot either. He's got a 4.30 ERA, and that's about it, about right. But because he's a lefty starter 6, he might get into the back end of the draft. Phoebus, a starter 6, one of many Oriole pitchers looking for a new team. He's vulnerable against lefties a bit here. He'll probably get into the league, though. 3.52 ERA and goes in the rotation. Pitched more innings in 1969 than Jim Palmer. I don't know if that was a good thing for the Orioles, though. Ron Willis, we saw him in relief. Very susceptible against lefties, but against righties, that triple sucks. But he's a righty, he gets righties out. There's value in that. Don Shaw, a long left-handed reliever who's just is an innings eater, but the walk home run combination will kill you. But though, there are worse. Throws left-handed. He might find a spot. Rush Snyder, who you saw was hit over 400 in the tournament while not playing that much, but I don't think that's good enough to get him into the league. He's a 2, and that's good. The arm's bad, the E rating's bad, the lack of power is not good. The top line here is average at best. There's not a whole lot here and nothing there. This is a 239 hitter, maybe? 248 hitter. Again, wrong position. Corner outfielder, you need some pop, and that's not enough pop. Sorry, Russ. Now this guy is really interesting, Fiore. I love the walks. And as a left-handed guy, you can give him a full-time job. Problem is it would be at first base. Is this enough power to keep at first base to justify being a first baseman for a team? I think he gets into the league. I wish he played outfield defense better, but he'll get into the league because that on base is really cool. 274 hitter with 84 walks and only 339 at bats. So he prorates to a 800 OPS for a full season. So we like this guy. We'll get a spot for him. Bretman's already in the league with a much better card, as is Alex Johnson, who was California Angels lone representative in the All-Star game last year. Cincinnati Reds here. All right, we talked about Johnny Briggs a few times. This guy is really in competition for a lot of guys for a corner outfield spot. I like the power and the walks. We see him to be better than Russ Snyder as a comparison. B Steeler is nice. A 14 runner is nice. Even against lefties, he's still not a liability because he's got power. Question is, his batting average is kind of low. He's like a 245 hitter, 238 hitter. So that's kind of low, but he's right really on the border here. It's going to be a tough call. Hopefully he's got a better card, and I think he does have a better card in one of his future years. Casanova, known for his arm, -2 arm, that should just put you in the league.
Again, right-hander, so at least hit lefties better than righties, which he does. Problem is, the stick is pretty weak, though, isn't it? It's not quite enough stick to justify the -2 arm. He's a 216 hitter. So, Elrod doesn't have an arm, but he's a lefty with power and a lot of home runs right there. And you can live with the kind of meh on base. I mean, 12 home runs in half a season prorates to 20-some home runs, right? I wish he had a negative arm, though. He does not have that. So, but he'll probably get into the league. Left-handed catchers always get scooped up. Buddy Bradford, good defense, arm range and arm is good. Power is good over here. Has him on base. This is a decent enough card. 268 hitter, maybe? 256. Possible he gets in the league. Possible. I love the 2-2 in center field. That's very good. Trzeski, probably not. I mean, the defensive versatility is really good, but boy, there's no hits. The walks is a saving grace here that gives him some on base. He might make it. He might, if a team, in the 8th and final round of the draft is just looking for defense at one of the infield positions because they got 3 starters, they might take this guy just to get that 2. Jim LaFay had a big tournament, had like 24 RBIs with this card in 15 games. Interesting positions, middle infield plus also first base, with halfway decent E ratings at all of them. LaFay's card is already in the league with the White Sox. This Don Mason card really struggled. The 2 at second base is really nice, but the E41 certainly isn't. And yeah, a left-handed middle infielder who can play the 3 infield positions is coveted. The OPS is pretty good with these walks, but boy, there is not much hits. I mean, that's really bad as far as the hitting goes. I like the walks, just not enough. This is like a 218 hitter. 228, well, that's because of those walks. So yeah, left-handed infielder, he might make it for defense, but not for average. Tony Taylor is already in the league. And then there we go with Bob Locker again. So that's it. That's been the player review. Congratulations to Missoula, winners of the 2021 Winter Baseball Classic. When we get together again, we will be doing the draft for the Summer League. Looking forward to that. We'll see you next time.